Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox, and it is a lovely Tuesday morning. The sun is out, it's actually warm, and it is a wonderful looking day. Don't know how long it'll stay like that, but hey, if you're going to start the day, start like that. Now, I did a video yesterday in which I compared Humza Yousaf and the SNP to the Third Reich. I was talking about their absolute dismissal of the Tories, the wanting them to eliminate all Tories from Scotland, and their obvious anti-Semitic stance. I said that it was like living in Germany in the 30s, especially with the police acting as the Schutzstaffel, or the SS wing for them, like this paramilitary militia, basically going around and doing the government's bidding regardless of legality. And I said it's going to get worse because obviously you've got the hate crime coming in, of which more in a later video. But I'm not alone, it seems, in hosting these thoughts and these comparisons, because Kaye Adams, yesterday on her BBC show, had someone coming up, not come in, but on there, complaining that the current SNP government is exactly like that. That it is comparing it to the Little Austrians' final solution in Germany in the 30s. Great minds think alike, I suppose. But we'll take a look at this to see why so many people now are starting to make the straight-out comparison between today's Scotland and 1930s Germany. Here you go. So, caller on Kaye Adams' BBC radio show compares Humza Yousaf's Tory-free campaigning to H's final solution. You don't, YouTube doesn't like that name, so you have to get around it. The First Minister is under growing pressure to bin his general election campaigning slogan amid infighting within the SNP, with even some of the party's most ardent supporters speaking out against it. Pete Wishart, I'm looking at you. But he's not alone. There are others. They're saying it's divisive and that it's inaccurate, really, because it isn't the Tories that are the main problem, of course, for the SNP. Labour are their problem. But I think what's happened is Humza Yousaf, in his mind, has given up. He's saying, no, I accept that we cannot beat Labour. And so what I need to do is pick a target that I can then say, well, we said we fought it on this issue and we won on this issue. Even though you lost 30 votes, 30 seats perhaps, you can still claim a victory and say, oh, we got rid of the Tories. Only that is probably going to backfire as well. And you may even lose a seat or two to the Tories. But that is always going to be the risk when you're a party of losers led by a serial loser. Humza Yousaf is under growing pressure to drop his election campaign slogan to make Scotland Tory-free, as he's faced backlash from dedicated nationalist supporters. Journalist Leslie Riddoch and singer Iona Fife both spoke out against it on the BBC Scotland radio on Monday morning. And one worried listener even compared the strategy to 1930s Germany, as he claimed that next they'd be targeting other party voters until it was just SNP supporters left. That's exactly what it is. A one-party monolithic state. Ein Volk. Yeah? Ein Reich. Ein Führer. John, whoever John is, we don't know his surname, just John, wrote into Kaye Adams to say Humza Yousaf wants Scotland to be Tory-free as he sees the Conservatives as a stumbling block to independence. Because, of course, it's the Conservative and Unionist Party. It says if he gets his way, what next? A Labour Party free zone, etc.? Slowly getting rid of all political opposition? What about the 700,000 Scots who vote Conservative? Is their political viewpoint to be marginalised from Scottish society and ultimately banned from expressing their opinion? Is this the Austrians' final solution for dealing with the Tory problem? SNP Pete Wishart has already confirmed he would not be using Tory-free rhetoric as he campaigns in a seat which is a direct fight between him and the Scottish Conservatives. Miss Riddoch, who's pro-independence journalist, also hit out at the strategy. I mean, Leslie Riddoch is a card-carrying loon when it comes to independence, and if she's against it, then you know that this strategy is bad. Riddoch told BBC Radio Scotland there's been a pushback. Some of the independence groups in Aberdeenshire are saying they don't like it. Ironically, if you're actually trying to campaign in a Conservative area, slagging off the Tories as scum, quoting Angela Rayner, doesn't really work. So I'm not sure that this will do terribly well. Oh no, I mean, Humza Yousaf finished. He's a zombie leader, dead man walking. He knows it, you know it, I know it, everybody knows it. The only people who don't know it are that little high command coterie in the bunker in Berlin, Edinburgh. Nationalist supporting singer Miss Fife, another loon, said that it was a language mistake, as it looks like the SNP are undermining the views of those who don't support Skexit. And with this, the opposite of what they need to do to be persuading people to vote for breaking up the UK. When you're sitting there and saying to the very people whose votes you need, you're scum, we want to drive you out of Scotland, we want to make Scotland Tory free, no more Jews, Tories, it's exactly the same, isn't it? By doing this rhetoric, by making the Tories the other, next you'll be herding them all into ghettos or into slaughterhouses, because that's, of course, the final solution that Humza Yousaf desperately needs for to maintain any kind of credibility. And with this cult of personality that is the SNP, it's likely to happen one day. They are that filled with hate for everything other than themselves. They are, I don't know how you... They're almost Daleks, aren't they? If you are not a Dalek, then you are the enemy. But in this case, if you are not the SNP, and if you're not the right sort of SNP, you'll be rounded up, herded up. The old SS under the guise of, Uber General Joe Farrell will be picking you up off the street and taking away to a secret location wherein you'll never be seen again. Independence Minister Jamie Hebburn, a man who shouldn't have a job and is paid $100,000 a year to sit on his arse and do nothing, which is unachievable, was quick to defend his boss. But of course he is. He's desperate for the $100,000 a year. As he clashed with Good Morning Scotland presenter Gary Robertson. He claimed the party's general election campaign was not unravelling already amid infighting over the strategy, even though that's exactly what it is, despite Hebburn lying his teeth off. He said, I don't think so. I think it's a very clear and straightforward message. Yes, the message of hate, the message of division, the message of if you aren't with us, then you are against us, where previously you had an opposing view. Now you have a hateful view. We hate you. We want to destroy you. We want to eradicate you. We want you gone from the shores of Scotland, one way or another. He said, I think there's a very clear and straightforward message. We know that in most seats the battle is a direct one between the SNP and the Tories. In most seats the battle is between the SNP and Labour. If you fail to see that, then you are a moron. But then you are a member of the SNP. So it goes without saying that you're a moron. He said, people want the Tories to go. No, they want the SNP to go. He says, we have the chance to get rid of Tory MPs in Scotland and make Scotland Tory free. Now, they don't just mean Tory MPs and Tory MSPs and Tory councillors. They mean Tories, Tory voters. They want Tory voters gone from Scotland. He said they can tell that because of the language of their leader. Tory values, Tory thoughts, Tory feelings. They want the Tories eradicated. And change the word Tory to the word Jew, and you've got exactly what is going on in Scotland. He says, I think if we look at the opinion polls, people are already coming to that conclusion. Well, you look at the opinion polls for which you pay Ipsos $5 million a year, yes. If you look at any other independent poll, no. These people live in a world of denial, a world of their own imagination, where they pay people to say things so that they can hear it back and go, yeah, that's right. It's going to be very, very amusing come the general election, assuming he makes it that far. Because it seems now that Kaye Yousaf is leading a very dangerous campaign of hate, of division, and where he's going to require thought police. And again, he's already got them. And you'll see that in another video later. Anyway, we'll stop there. I'll come up and we'll round off the video. Unless this policy is shown up time and time again as what it is, a policy of hate, a policy of really the eradication of thought. It is because you don't think like us, we want you gone from these shores. We want you eradicated. You fail to adhere to my beliefs, to my way of thinking. We don't tolerate division of thought. We don't tolerate anything that involves you having a free, independent mind or wishing to see a future that does not align with ours. And they've got the police to back it up. And of course, it's just going to get worse come a week Monday. But it won't, because we will have them time and time again. And they will, of course, reverse this law, which is coming up. But again, more on that later. But it is the way it's going. All of this is planned. And it is absolutely disgusting, inhumane, and it is no different from what the Little Austrian planned 30 or 100, well, 90 years ago now. 90 years ago. Let's have a look and see how bad it's going to get. I'll stop now. Thank you very much for watching. Do please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video, and I'll speak to you later. Bye.